been away for Christmas. Do you realize that? Never. We don't even celebrate Christmas, I said to her, but it felt pretty unnecessary considering the sheer quantity of Jewish guilt she'd been laying on me the entire car ride. All the same, Shani, it's the holidays. She swerved a bit into the lane next to ours as she spoke, and a lime green Mazda honked at us. She flipped them off. Is it, though? Like, is it really the holidays? The brightly colored car sped past us. Hanukkah's over, and it's complete bullshit anyway. It was invented by American capitalists so that Jewish kids could be included in the Christian hegemony. I was proud of myself for using the word hegemony. Is that what they're teaching you at college? No, I said, pouting a little. I've always thought that. Yeah, you've always hated the 8 days of thoughtful gifts I've given you. She swerved again, but into the lane on the other side of her, which was very egalitarian, I thought. Okay, geez. I sighed loudly and crossed my arms. I knew I was being childish and combative and all around awful, but no matter what she said, she wasn't going to convince me to stay at home in Queens for the holidays. My mom and I had been snapping at each other from the moment she picked me up from my first semester of college, just 3 short, but at the same time incredibly unendingly long, days ago. Maybe she would have understood if I told her why I was feeling this way, but I couldn't do that. If I was being honest, here's how I wanted to respond to my mom's request. Sure, yeah, I'd love to stay home for the holidays, but now that you mention it, the thought of being in our apartment for winter break makes me want to rip all my teeth out one by one. For the 3 days I was home, all I did was avoid my mom's gaze and respond to her perfectly reasonable questions with one-word answers. I had reverted back to being a petulant child. Because the thing no one tells you about going away to college is that even if your first semester beats you to a pulp and leaves you with no faith in humanity, it doesn't feel better to be at home. The couch no longer remembers your butt, the floor creaks in places it never used to, and your mom will switch the mug cabinet with the plate cabinet, which you'll fight about, of course, because you'll take any excuse you have to be shitty to her. And all of my anger, all of it, is because of Sadie. Sadie had told me she loved me on a Thursday. I'd been too anxious to tell her that I loved her before then, because I thought 3 months was too soon. We started dating 2 days into first-year orientation, and I knew I loved her, well, 2 days into first-year orientation. All semester we had a perfect routine. We'd sit in her dorm, when her roommate wasn't there, and watch Netflix. We mostly stuck to crafting-based competition shows, though we also watched all the movies in the LGBTQ movies category. Well, except the ones where women had sex. It would be too awkward to watch other people doing something we had thus far been too scared to do. Or, at least that I'd been too scared to do. But even when I was just sitting with her, watching TV, my neck hurting from leaning against her shoulder, I felt a tug at my chest, and I knew it was love. I was all the lesbian stereotypes in one, and I didn't care. They were stereotypes for a reason. I pictured our wedding, rustic and small. Neither of us would wear white, and all the guests would leave saying things like, "That challenged my conception of what a wedding is, and frankly, what it should be." I don't really believe in this, Sadie had said to me on the Thursday in question. But I just thought you should know. Know what? I asked, looking up at her from my well-worn spot on her shoulder. I knew what she was going to say would be serious because she had paused Jeopardy. She stared straight ahead as she said, "That I love you." I immediately told her I loved her too. But after that I was stressed, because if we were in love, then the next logical step was sex, and seeing as I had never done it before, I felt like I needed to prepare. So, I Googled some unhinged keywords on a very private